Welcome back, house guests, to Backdoors and Blindsides, covering Big Brother 27, our penultimate episode before the finale of this season. We're talking episodes 35, 36, 37, and 38, a little bonus content this week. And I'm your host, Matt, always joined by my wife and co-host, Meg.
That's me.
And we are just about to the finish line with the show. We've seen 3 house guests go home in the last, or I guess 4 house guests go home in the last 7 days or so.
Yeah.
And we're down to the wire. We've got our final 3. We've got scenarios for who's gonna win. There are odds for each of them in varying sizes. Vince is gonna lose no matter what.
Absolutely.
We've already said that. But right off the bat, we are in talks of our favorite house guest this
America's
season.
favorite player.
Right. And the voting, I think, is open as of the time that we're recording this.
Yeah, it's been open for a week plus at this point. Yeah.
I think by the time this is posted, though, the polls will have already closed. And the way that the voting works is what? You get either 5 or 10 votes a day. I think if you watch ads or something like that.
Yeah, if you get hypnotized by CBS in their ad for Blue Bloods or whatever the fuck show that they're trying to promote next. Or maybe, I think it was The Road. I think I was watching a few ads for The Road.
Keith Urban show?
I think it's the competition singing show with,
we will not
those
be
country.
Covering that one.
Oh, no.
On Backdoors and Blindsides.
No, but my little revolt against tyranny is, I'll say, yes, I would like my 5 extra votes for today. I will watch your extra content. And I hit play and I put my phone upside down. I was like, you will not be brainwashing me today.
No, if it was Tracker, I'd be all in on Tracker.
Your obsession with Tracker, I don't understand.
I can't wait for Tracker to come back.
Oh my God.
Oh, we've been watching ads for 6 months.
But you've seen 0%.
Yeah, but I just love knowing that it's there.
Right.
I love knowing that Tracker's up next after Big Brother, after Survivor.
It's your comfort. I'm not going to watch this, but I like that it's out there.
So you've been voting every day.
Yeah.
Are you voting for the same players every day, or are you getting chaotic with it?
I get a little chaotic with it. I like to split my votes up because I'm voting for someone who I would be okay with winning. America's favorite player.
Right.
Not necessarily someone that I'm like, oh, this person has to win. I'm dumping all my votes here. I'm like, no, I'm going to spread the wealth a little bit to give to some other players.
You're trying to ensure happiness by spreading the love across the board so that you can be okay with any of these outcomes.
Listen, it's only three-ish players that I've been doing this with, but I'm not voting for the whole cast.
Are you doing this to just kind of increase your chances of having a happy ending, or are you doing it to prevent certain people from winning?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how are you doing this? Are you spreading this evenly across people? Do you have a rankings where this person gets 1 vote, this person gets 2, this person gets 3?
It's kind of like a vibe for me. I'll come forward. I'll come forward. I will say I have been voting for Keanu. I have been voting for Will. And I've tossed a few votes at Rachel too.
Really?
And then Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy. I think if he had stuck around longer on the season, he'd be a greater contender for the favorite, because he would have just been able to get into more, I don't know, shenanigans.
I mean, I would have loved for him to have his quippy moments in jury too. I think him sitting at the jury round table would be really fun. But no, I think he definitely has a future in TV as a TV personality. So I've spread my wealth around a little bit. My Rachel votes are very few. And they are, I just talked about not wanting to be brainwashed, but I've definitely been brainwashed a little bit into voting a few times for Rachel. But I'm here to say that I think it's bullshit.
Why?
I think it's bullshit.
Why?
Because
what is bullshit? Rachel
as America's favorite player.
Okay.
Because listen, let me break it down here. First, taking a step back, it's kind of crazy the response that we're seeing online from other players, past players, current players, pushing for Rachel to get America's favorite player vote, which, don't forget, these people, whoever wins, gets $50K.
Yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at. that's a year's salary right there for most Americans. So that's a huge amount of money. Is it life-changing like $750K? No, but it is a good chunk of money that can definitely help you out. So it has a real weight behind it for sure. It's not like, $5K or something like that. But you're seeing former Big Brother players, that community, all being like, oh, like, vote for Rachel, vote for Rachel, vote for Rachel. You're even seeing current Big Brother players advocate for Rachel's vote.
Why is that?
I don't understand. I'm like, do these people not... Jimmy's out there saying, don't vote for me, vote for Rachel. Keanu's even saying Rachel deserves it, vote for Rachel.
Is everyone just trying to... I mean, you've talked about how like people are trying to kiss ass with her and make good. Like, is that what they're doing? They just want to be friends with her after this?
Maybe, but I'm like, what is this hysteria that we're all in? Again, you're in the Big Brother house to fight for your life, to play a good social game, a competitive game, and to come out at the end and win a cash prize. You're still trying to win a cash prize with America's favorite player. So why are we trying to just throw our chances away and tell people to vote for someone else? But my favorite pastime as of late is to swipe through my stories on our Backdoors and Blindsides account, which we really only follow current players and other, relevant accounts. And, I'll see Riley on there being like, vote for me for America's favorite player. I'm like, dude, not a fucking chance do you have.
If every viewer in the country voted for Riley, CBS would give it to someone else.
Oh, absolutely.
There's fucking chance that they would ever give him that award.
There's no universe where Riley gets America's favorite player. Sorry, buddy. But my favorite pastime as of late is to go onto my stories and see them being like, oh, don't forget to vote for America's favorite player today. Yeah. And I will select a player who I don't want to win, i.e. Riley, and we'll click on the link in his story and go vote for other people.
Oh my gosh. Diabolical.
I'm evil.
Yeah, Rachel winning just is so boring. It's so uninteresting.
We've talked about this before. She's a reality TV personality. This is her job. I've also pulled before Rachel's net worth, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it is like multi-million, like 1 to 3 million range.
Let's do that on the next show. Let's just pull everyone's net worth.
Well, no, we only have it for Rachel, right?
Yeah,
because like, a lot of her, winnings and stipends and stuff that she receives from these shows are, kind of public knowledge. So people are able to, guesstimate what it is. So America is voting for someone. If you're voting for Rachel, you don't care about someone who actually needs the money.
No.
Right? So that doesn't matter. She has money. Her and her husband are both famous. They're both reality TV personalities. They've been on a million different shows. So that's not your logic, right? Okay, but let's take that aside. You're voting for someone who has played the best game. Wasn't Rachel.
No.
She has said time and time again, these newbies never listen to me. So you're admitting, Rachel, that you had no pool in the house, right?
That's a really good point.
She's admitting that she has no pool in the house. And we're watching episode after week after week, watching all of her allies go home. The only reason Ashley was able to stay and them not come after her is because all of her other allies left and Rachel just like went out because she lost a comp.
Well, that's the thing is like she can't even blame house guests on like, successfully hitting their shot with her. Like she got herself out. And so that's not a player that's I don't know, I guess that's not a favorite type.
No, listen, I think it was shitty the way she went out. I don't think it could have been anyone that left that night when we're talking about the Mastermind's White Locust takeover. And the hamster wheel, I do think she was done dirty. Anyone that went home during that would have been done dirty. But listen, she didn't have the social pool to get what she wanted in that competition, which was to go first, which we already talked about. She may have not have had even a chance if she went first. She didn't have the social pool to keep her allies in. People were scared of her. So like, she does have some weight there, but she didn't really play. She only won a handful. Did she only win one comp, right?
She won HOH. I don't think she ever won a veto.
No.
I don't think so. No.
She won one comp.
That sucks.
So if you're voting for a comp piece, it's not Rachel. If you're voting someone for a social strategy, it's also not Rachel because she admitted that the newbies wouldn't listen to her. And so she doesn't have social pull. You can't vote for her because she deserves the money and like it would change her life. So why are you voting for her? Because all these people are saying that like she was robbed of her fame or of her time on the show. I'm confused why we're pulling for Rachel to win.
Yeah, people are glazing Rachel hard, and I don't really get it. I mean, I get that, like, yes, she's an icon and whatever, but I think with this season specifically, like, she has not had the juice. What she's been able to do is intimidate people, but she didn't intimidate people into making decisions. She just kind of kept them from playing the game.
Right. They didn't want to put her up.
Yeah.
She intimidated them to like not put her up, which again is a social part of the game. But is it enough to win America's favorite player? Is she just winning it because she's been on our TV screens for however many years now, a decade?
Yeah. You think
that's not enough for me?
She's intimidating like the viewers across the country to vote for her too. I mean,
that's it worked with me for a few votes, but then I was like, wait a second, why am I listening to Keanu and Jimmy and all these other past players saying to vote for her when I don't know if I'm putting my little critical thinking cap on? I don't think she deserves it.
The other Big Brother players kind of saying that they should, people should vote for her is really weird to me. I don't know why you would campaign for anyone but yourself in that situation.
Right? It's just strange.
Unless she made whisper deals with all these people that she was going to cast them in The Golden Bachelor in 50 years or something like that, right? Isn't that she used to work for that show? I've been voting for Keanu.
I know.
I've been voting for Keanu for the last week. He's really turned around and become someone who's been really fun to watch, and I think most of the viewers feel that way too. He got a huge pop when he came out for his exit interview. Probably the biggest of the season, aside from like Rachel coming back. Yeah, I guess, and that was cool to see. Yeah, he got the redemption arc or the redemption editor or whatever you want to call it, but he was really impressive to watch and really surviving this long, being a target from basically week one is pretty cool. So Keanu has my votes. I would love to see him walk away with this because he is, I think, the biggest star to come out of this season. Like people,
he came in as one of the biggest stars too. Don't forget. Yeah. Yes, we had Rachel being Big Brother icon, but the biggest follower account was Keanu.
His Instagram.
Yeah. So like him and Ava came in with the most online social pull to the game. So, I think Keanu was this comp beast underdog, had his back against the wall most of the game. But then at the same time, I can also see arguments saying that he doesn't deserve it either because he didn't really play a social game. He had to win. He had to win in order to ensure his fate in the game. He didn't really have any sway. He tried to big brain a bunch of things and we watched those fail miserably. No one listened to him in the house. Everyone was annoyed with him. Yeah. He followed people around constantly and people were like, I need just 5 seconds without Keanu in the room. I think there's an argument still there for him. Like he's not untouchable in that or like a shoo-in for that, right?
But Tucker won America's favorite last year. And I wouldn't say that Tucker was playing much of a game either. He was just kind of dicking around sowing chaos. He was just giving Angela the veto because he thought it'd be interesting for the show.
Well, he was also the instigator. He was in a showmance.
He was entertaining. Yes, but that's why he got the vote, and I think Keanu is entertaining.
Okay, yeah,
he's been fun to watch compete. He's funny. I mean, whether it's intentionally funny or not, like I think Ava is trying to make people laugh. Keanu is making me laugh because he's been so dumb through a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about the last couple of weeks, whenever he's got horrible reads, he's always talking about how excited he is. And then he goes up on the block because of course this person's going to put you up on the block. He's just made the show fun when a lot of people have really tried to make the show not fun.
Rightly. Vince. Well, I think you bring up a good point though too.
Nikki.
Is entertainment value, and that's not something I considered when I was listing my reasons that you could be voting for someone. Is just general entertainment value. I do see
Lauren.
General entertainment value in Rachel and what'd you say?
Lauren.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, girl. I do see general entertainment value in Rachel and in Keanu. Maybe not for some other things that I just listed off there, but I think we also have Will. as a in the running.
I think I threw him a couple votes at the start of the week.
Yeah, I did as well because, America's sweetheart. I think he has some funny lines. He has some funny takes. And he's actually really, he has a pulse on the game and on, different players and how they've been interacting, because we have seen this stereotype in Big Brother where they cast kind of this older male figure. Mm-hmm. We had Kenny from last season, but they've all been just kind of, maybe I'm just thinking of Kenny. I don't want to group them all into one, this typecast into one big thing. But, you had Kenny being like, I miss my family. I just want to go home. Vote me out, vote me out, vote me out. It's like he wasn't really in the game. He didn't really care. Yeah. But I think Will really cared about the game. He even said, he will fight for his life against Ashley because even his daughter, he looks at Ashley like a daughter, and he wouldn't even let his daughters win this game over him. So he had that fight in him, and he had that ability. So I think he really is in the running for America's favorite as well.
I like to see him or Keanu take it.
Yeah.
I think that each of them are deserving. Will legitimately made me laugh the whole season. He was making me laugh even in that recap episode that we got Friday night, where it's the round table kind of victory lap for the season. They're showing more clips of Will, and he's making me laugh with my teeth out. Even when he's just dropping a tray of crackers or talking about Rachel's dead rat. I don't know, man. He's just a funny guy. He's
that rat's dead.
He's a performer. And it just seems very organic coming from him. So
he's also a fellow podcaster.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I would love to see either of those guys pull it out, but Will would be great too. I think Keanu is a surefire match for the challenge. That's got to be where he goes next, right?
Yeah, Challenge USA, when they do that again, I would assume maybe sometime in the spring or even next fall, something like that. I think he would have a good shot. I think him and Morgan would be on Challenge USA. I could see them. They personalities on the challenge, so I was gonna almost say Lauren.
No chance.
But she has that competition drive and
everyone on the challenge is the loudest fucking person you've ever heard in your life.
That's
Everyone
true.
on that show is screaming 24/7.
I
could not put Lauren in there.
I could see a Mickey or a Kat on challenge though.
Yeah.
I could see either one of them maybe doing it.
Because they kind of instigate too. You got to be an instigator.
Even maybe Jimmy. I don't know. Zach maybe. Zay maybe. I don't know. They kind of went out a little too early. Maybe.
Keanu's got the juice to be able to get into the challenge.
For sure.
And I think people are going to follow him wherever he goes. He's going to bring ratings.
Right, because he already is bringing that follower group with him because he already had it before the season. The last person I want to talk about with America's favorite player is Ava. She attempted the entire season up until the last, I think maybe 2 to 3 weeks to gun for that position.
And I think she was in the lead for most of the season.
Yeah. And then people started to realize maybe her nastiness, which came after and during Rachel's comp out lose. I don't even want to call it an eviction. It's not an eviction. Where Rachel pulled her arm. Ava made this whole big deal in the house saying, oh, Rachel ripped my arm and that's why bitch this, bitch that. Oh, Rachel's da. She even called, allegedly, Rachel the C word. Again, we mentioned that. So she and Rachel has this big following already, right? So now you're attacking an audience base that loves Rachel.
You're pissing off the disciples.
Exactly. So I think that kind of trashed Ava's chances, and I think she realized that, and she was really upset about it. But something interesting in her post eviction interviews, I have seen her being like, oh, Rachel grabbed my arm, I don't know what that was about, oh, it's so weird.
Right, she's course correcting.
Yeah, exactly.
She's hoping that didn't make the episode.
Yeah,
which I don't think it did. Right,
we got that she was mad at Rachel for maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah, but
it was all over lives, it was all over the interwebs, her saying, all of this trashy shit about Rachel, and people, finally sussing Ava out for trying to basically swindle America into voting for her as America's favorite player. She had a few of those little excerpts, why I feel like I'm off to war and I'm writing back to my boyfriend. Right. And she had these funny things that production was like elevating.
She was walking around
her.
like the Godfather when she was HOH.
Yeah, like she did have some stuff going for her, but I think she kind of overplayed it. And I don't even know if she's top 3. Top 3, I really think is Will, Rachel, and Keanu as far as like how the votes shake out.
Yeah, the love for Ava has dropped off, and I think that it's not just like her moment that she had with Rachel, or I guess like the animosity that came around because of that, but I think she just stopped trying. Like she dropped the persona more and more every week because it's hard. It's hard to keep that up for this long.
Right. And we started seeing it, I think, crumble at Rachel's exit from the game because, it was like I don't even know. I am not even going to pretend to know. It was over day 50, right?
I think so.
Something like that. And so that's like a really interesting time in the game because you see these personas start to crumble, right? You go in and you're like, oh, I'm going to be this type of player. I'm going to have these type of DR sessions. I'm going to have these one-liners. I'm going to move in a certain way like this. You can't be on 24/7, which you are. And as Lauren said, the hardest part of Big Brother is that it's always on. So I don't know. That's a little extra Lauren impression right there.
Go back to our Instagram and YouTube pages for the impressions that we were doing last week. Yeah, I mean, it's different to keep something going amongst all of the house guests because you are sleeping and you can, hide from each other in certain rooms and stuff. But when you're keeping up this persona for cameras that are just focused on you all the time, I don't think it's possible. And what's unfortunate is it seems like it was a much greater persona than like we originally thought. Like we knew that she was hamming it up, right?
Oh yeah.
Everyone does. But I feel like Ava Pearl week 1 and Ava Pearl even like week 8, drastically different people.
Well, don't forget, we also had that moment that we watched on lives, and I can't remember if they showed it in episode or not, where it was her and Will talking in, was it the Have Not room?
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm terrified to leave this house right now. I'm terrified to leave because I'm in this bubble right now, and I'm terrified to go back into the real world and like learn about the perceptions of myself, to go back to normal life. She was basically having this existential crisis in front of Will, and we were sitting there watching it. My mouth was like kind of like on the floor, like, oh my God. Like I really felt for her in that moment where I'm like, wow, you've let down this wall of this, oh, I'm Ava, I'm funny, I dress this way, but don't talk to me in a snippy way, right? But I wanted to see more of that. Show me more of your like realness. Like, give me that. Like, that was so raw and real. And I'm not saying I need you to have trauma and be upset and cry in front of me for me to like get sympathy and like relate to you. But I do think it was one of the most real moments that she had in the house where she was like, and because that's a thing that not a lot of people think about.
Yeah.
And it's something that she was heavily thinking about. So when she was evicted, spoiler, I kind of felt for that. But I am glad that she is going into jury and she has a little bit of padding to kind of ease back into the quote unquote real world a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, just like less than a week's time, but even that is enough to like, you can talk to other people who have already started to adjust a little bit. I'm sure Rachel could probably help her make plans for like how to process
if her husband
that,
lets her.
Yeah, because she's done it a couple of times. That's right. They're not supposed to be talking to each other, right?
Yeah. Brendan, Rachel's husband, has been all over the place being like, we will not be friends with Kelly and Ava after
we will
this.
not be friends with this 23-year-old.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
We're not going to go on vacation with this college student. Okay, man.
Which like is valid. You're allowed to like and not like people and like be around people, not be around people, but to be like taking this stance of like, we're not going to talk to them. I'm like, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Was that an expectation? All 16 people are going to go move into another house together. I think that's, but what that does, that burns her chances of America's favorite, right? That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's tearing down. You're right. He's calling to the disciples, the Rachelites, and he's tearing down other players' images to probably help Rachel's chances of winning that America's favorite. That's something really interesting to consider, is that like Rachel has someone acting on her behalf to try and tear these other team members down. So honestly,
someone who's famous and has that recognition and pull and is going on all these podcasts and is doing all this like press run for her, right?
Yeah.
Like some people have that, like they have their spouse or their partner or their family member or friend or someone running their social account. But these people that are running the other players' accounts, they're not famous.
Yeah.
Like
and you know what? I think I just came to that realization. Like if Rachel wins, I think that sucks even harder if she wins America's Favorite, because she's had her famous husband to be campaigning for her and tearing down other candidates through this whole voting process. But we'll see. We'll find out in just about a day's time. Any other thoughts on America's Favorite?
No, let's dive into the week a little bit here.
So we are post Lauren exiting the house, and this is officially what, final 5? Yeah, final 5. Vince, Morgan, Ashley, Keanu, and Ava. The judges still intact with Vince, Ashley, and Morgan.
Yep.
Keanu's kind of in the middle. Ava's on the bottom. Ava had aligned with Lauren and Kelly the week prior. She's on the bottom. She's basically going to have to reset yet again after Will left, after Lauren and Kelly left. She decides to align with Ashley, which makes the most sense because everyone still wants Keanu out of the house. He's the biggest target now. And Vorgan, they're clearly not going to let anyone in to their weird little
human
circle,
chemistry,
whatever that
orgy
might be.
or whatever they're doing.
So we go right into another HOH comp. And lo and behold, Vinny the Limp walks away with his 4th HOH, right, of the season. Most of the season, right? And how many people get 4 HOHs in a season? Is that's got to be pretty irregular?
It's a high number for sure. Yeah. I don't know the stats offhand for that, but we did get a classic Big Brother competition, which was the pressure cooker.
Yes.
Which we were standing on a little platform, holding a bendy stick and keeping
just like a piece of cardboard. It looks like almost
a piece of hard plastic of the mastermind's face.
Yeah.
Longest person to hold wins. I don't think it went that. I think it was like maybe an hour.
It was less than an hour.
It was because Keanu was yapping the whole time and he fumbled it.
The fucking ADD that people have bringing into the pressure cooker, I swear to God, is the reason that half of them lose. Yeah. Remember last season? Keanu, let's set the stage, actually. I'm getting too upset.
Bring it back.
Ava drops immediately. Morgan can't play, right? Because she was HOH.
She gets to watch in the living room, though. That's fun.
Ava drops immediately, or pretty close to it. Ashley drops pretty soon after that. And before you know it, we have Vince and Keanu in the pressure cooker holding, you're putting like all of your wrist and forearm pressure, maybe your shoulder too, into this. It looks like what fencers use, right?
Yeah.
What would that be? A saber or something like that? It's this little tiny pinpoint that you have to just keep pressed against, essentially like this flat surface, as long as you can. Keanu starts lipping off, and he starts putting his hand behind his back and starts.
When did you start skating?
He starts talking, making small talk with Vince. He is playing. He's got a strat, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy.
Has got it in the bag. It's easy as hell for him, so he's just going to try and distract Vince, make him lose focus so that he drops. Keanu finally gets his HOH, and before you know it, he just distracts himself because he's not fucking paying attention. He gets too excited to talk to Vince and drops it, and Vince wins by default. Yeah. This is just like last season where, and now this was much longer on the clock.
Oh, they were out there for a while.
Hours, right? Cam and Leah were both, you had to hang on to a button or something, right?
No, it was same thing, but I think it was a marshmallow. They were like roasting, like the comp theme was like roasting marshmallows over a fire kind of thing.
Right.
But I think the house guests this season we're talking about last season and saying that because it was this like squishy thing, it was easier because you could apply less pressure and it still be on, right? But if you have a hard surface with this flat piece of plastic that you have to hold up with the pole, then it's a little harder. You have to keep consistent pressure the whole time. There is no give, where last year there was some give, so they're going for forever. And finally we have Leah last year and Cam which neither of them won a whole lot of competitions.
No.
And we're like, wow, one of them is actually going to win this. They're fighting in the pressure cooker. And I think it was Leah who turned to Cam and said, let's speed this up a little bit. Let's do it on one leg. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
If this is week 2 and you're just trying to get a little silly with it, I understand. Maybe then you're still vying for America's favorite. Maybe you're intentionally trying to throw. Dude, you are in the top 5. There's 2 weeks of this show left. You cannot fuck around in the pressure cooker. You cannot fuck around this close when every HOH counts. Every veto is imperative because there's a solid chance that if you don't win HOH, you are going up on the block. Especially you, Keanu.
Yeah.
So he fucking deserves it. And it was sad to see. And again, it's Keanu coming back to haunt us. This guy cannot figure out this game, realize when you need to lock the fuck in.
And listen, if he was successful, Keanu would have won HOH.
Yeah.
But because he was unsuccessful, Keanu lost HOH.
Keanu, please. I think Keanu has finally gone away forever now that he's actually exited the house. But at least I would fucking hope so. So he gives it away to Vince. And again, I could not be more ecstatic that Vince win HOH. Just assuming that everything is dandy and Vince has no intentions of putting him up.
And Keanu at this point is convinced or has his heart set on the fact that Vince is going to nominate Morgan.
Yes.
You can't nominate half of Morgan. Who's going to rub his arm when he's feeling a little sad?
He's acting like it's 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Vince is going to put up Morgan and we're going to run this house. I'm like, what is happening, Keanu? Like, stop. You have terrible read on the situation. He is not putting up Morgan. Get over that. Find a different path. Find a different path, buddy. So yeah, Vince nominates Keanu and Ava, and then we get into veto.
Right, which is the tweezer puzzle.
Yeah, the tiny puzzle stacking.
The most agonizing veto comp there has to be to play in, right? It drives me nuts watching it because I know how bad I would be.
I love we get like the box of their face basically.
Yeah.
And every single time this competition is played season after season, you always get at least one fall of someone being like, they put a piece up and they go, and then the air just blows all their shit over and they're like, fuck.
What is the best way to prepare for this comp?
If you're
just grip strength?
If you're a surgeon,
yeah,
you have a job where you have to.
I know Vince was trying to play it up that he's ambidextrous, and so he was going to use like his right hand and then his left hand. I don't know, man. I mean,
he got close there, and then he
did.
Fucked it all up.
He did. I was surprised that Keanu was blowing it as often as he did because he has been pretty locked in for all of these comps, even the like more nuanced puzzle ones. He's got that. I know Morgan's given herself credit. The gamer strat, where like I think they both approach these competitions like they're playing video games or like they're playing these tabletop games. I said this at the beginning of the season, that was going to be to Morgan's advantage. And it absolutely was. And she keeps citing it in the DR as she's recapping her comps. Oh, I'm treating this like a video game. So it's nice to be vindicated. But yeah, Morgan comes out as the winner of veto, which means obviously noms are going to remain the same. She wants to keep her number 1 happy. And all of a sudden, we end up in this sacrifice chamber.
I'm a little
Candles,
confused.
Old creepy paintings, voodoo dolls.
A low table they have to kneel at.
Was there anything about the premise of the season that was supernatural?
No. I mean, just the generalization of Hotel Mystère. Like, I guess it's still like a mystery, kind of like, ooh, this like dark thing. But I'm like, I don't know. It's like a seance. We're doing a sacrifice now. Like, I don't know how on theme that is.
It's cool. I think it's pretty cool that like on primetime television we're doing sacrifices and voodoo and shit. You think of all the pearl clutching that probably comes as a result of that.
God 100, Julie Chen Moonvez's show.
Yeah,
probably
it's a little contradictory. I don't know.
And then we had a witch on the show. Kelly doing all her witchcraft.
I'm surprised that we got that at all on the broadcast. I feel like that's something that they wouldn't want to touch because people get so weird and freaked out over, like, witchcraft.
So they walk into the veto ceremony, or the eviction, rather.
Pretty cool live eviction. Or I guess
Well, it
it's
wasn't
pre-recorded.
live.
Oh, that's
the
right.
thing.
You know what? That's the issue. Yeah, this is this pre-recorded eviction. So if you are paying attention to the feeds or whatever, you knew that Keanu had already gone home.
Yeah, and there was speculation online that the players voted out someone knowing that they potentially would be going into a comp to save themselves, almost like an immediate battle back.
Oh, okay.
That was not the case, obviously. That was kind of the rumor online, so I was waiting for that, and it didn't happen. But, I really did like the stabbing of the voodoo doll.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun, very, very physical, but kind of outside the realm of Big Brother. Like, you're not supposed to know who voted for you. This is a public vote.
Aren't they stabbing something in Traders?
No.
Aren't they doing something in those chambers where they're like casting a spell? Or I swear to God, they're doing something with knives in that show. Are they not?
Have you seen Traders?
No.
Okay, what? Casting a spell?
No. I swear to God,
sweetheart.
no, they're in a castle. I just thought that they were doing
they're
something
sealing letters and killing people that way.
It's the letters. It's the sealing of the letters.
Yeah, they meet in the turret where they.
And it's like candlelight, right?
Yeah, it's candlelight.
Okay, so it kind of looks like what this.
Yeah, no,
this
it looks
is.
like it, but they don't stab things.
Okay, so this is, but they're still kind of lending.
Yes,
to that idea.
it's the Traders vibe that we've talked about this whole season having.
Yeah, but stabbing the doll, pretty cool. But yeah, it's frustrating that we didn't watch this happen live because it just takes away from the drama of the episode. And I understand that we had to get two people out this week to get to the final 3. Why not just give us another double eviction?
Give me a double eviction. Give me a triple eviction. Sprinkle that out a little more evenly throughout the season. I feel like the first 5 or 6 weeks were so slow, and then they're like, oh shit, we gotta play the game, we gotta get these people out. Da, 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 da. Okay, game's over. Like, that's how it's felt this season, and I wish it would have been paced a little better. And I don't like these middle of the night evictions or comp loses like Rachel and Keanu. You're also robbing those players of having that Big Brother moment of exiting the house and your former players holding the door behind you and waving and
live studio
the whole
audience.
studio cheering.
Yeah.
And granted, they did bring them back to interview with Julie in the next following episode, but it loses the little pizzazz that it has. They just kind of walk out. It's like, okay, I guess I'm out of the game now. So I'm over these two types of evictions. Give me a double. Give me multiple doubles, give me a triple, give me something that is not this. But I would have paid a lot of money to see Vince have to break that tie. If Ashley voted out Ava and Morgan voted out Keanu, I would have paid so much money to have seen Vince go like that to Keanu's doll, because that would just
another way to seal his fate of having burned the entire jury.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Because, and it's just like, I don't know, it's something for him to do. I just feel like Vince has not seen enough consequences for how poorly he's played the
He's
game.
about to.
Well, I guess the
finale.
consequence is that he's going to be broke and without a girlfriend, which we will get into.
Yeah.
Actually, that happens before Keanu goes home. They get, because Keanu goes home 2-0, right? Who would be the votes? Morgan and Ashley, right?
Yes, yeah.
Vote him out. They stab him to death. And then he exits the house. But first, we get our messages from our families, which is always fun. It is, you realize, these people are fucked up. They've been fucked up for weeks. They're really unhappy. They're on a mental decline. And to see them really light up the way they do when they see their folks or their partner or whatever is great. So we see Ashley's parents and we see Keanu's parents.
We see Ava's boyfriend.
Yeah, Caleb. We finally see Caleb in the flesh.
Which he is running her Instagram account, by the way. Caleb is running Ava's.
Oh, yeah. He's the man.
He posted this picture of Ava outside. It's this close-up. It's from bottom of boob to top of head, and it's this upward angle, and the photo is just all boob, and I was like, this man thinks his girlfriend is so hot, and I love to see
that. Hell yeah, he's putting it out there. He's showing the world. You should start a podcast with her. That's what I did. And the biggest one here is Vincenzo. which is what his mom calls him. It's Mamo and Daddo, right? And then cut to black. And pretty soon after, we get Vince in the DR. Well, first we get him kind of shuffling around looking at his feet. And then we get Vince in the DR saying, well, I'm just kind of surprised I didn't get a video from my girlfriend. I didn't get a video from
Vince,
Kelsey.
Surprised?
Dude.
Surprised? You feel hurt that Kelsey didn't send you a video? Your girlfriend? Maybe she's hurt the way that you've been acting this entire season. You're finally kind of getting what is deserved. Right?
Well, I think it's just expected. Like, my jaw hit the floor when Vince starts telling the camera, I don't know why I didn't get a video from my girlfriend. Like, he still is clueless after Zingbot. Zingbot and Keanu tells you, dude, you've been acting inappropriately with Morgan considering that you're in a relationship.
Well, no. Let's lay the whole picture out there. The DR has asked both Vince and Morgan multiple times about this human chemistry, showmance, not showmance, cheat mance, hug mance, whatever Julie Chen Moonves wants to call it. They've been asked about it in the DR, right? So that should already raise a red flag in their mind. Why is production asking me these questions when clearly this is just this powerful dynamic duo and nothing more, and not just a friendship and not a relationship? They have that. They have, Zingbot zinging Morgan. It should have been Vince's zing though, with the worst one saying that, basically all these qualities that Morgan is showing is his girlfriend. You get, not your girlfriend, but your parents in your home message video. You get Keanu coming up to you telling you, dude, keep it in check. You have Kelly coming up to you saying it. You have all the other house guests talking about it behind your back and then bringing it to you as well. So I'm like, Vince, I don't know how much more clear it needs to be. Why are we surprised?
Yeah, exactly. And then he spirals because I guess the rest of it hasn't been enough for him to spiral. And he gets in his head about it, and then you have Morgan consoling him, all of that. I want to just get into, I guess, Vorgan from here, because I feel like it's most appropriate. Because honestly, the rest of the week moves pretty quickly. So just while we're on the subject, we see a montage in the last episode, the victory lap episode. We see a montage of Morgan falling down, like she's clumsy. And she's been tripping and falling all throughout the house all season.
Which, listen. I said, that's my big brother player, because I do that constantly. I'm so clumsy. I'm bumping into things. I have bruises everywhere from stubbing my toe and tripping over our dogs and whatever.
I hit my head a lot specifically.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. The cabinets. Cabinets are sharp.
Twice a week at least. I'm hanging. I'm hitting my head. I mean, I'm hanging my head too. So we see one of these clips of her falling down on day 29. She falls over in the HOH room. What precedes that, though, is she is standing next to fucking Vince, who is in the fetal position on the bed. And she's rubbing his fucking back. She's been doing this since the 4th week of the show.
Well, there was even a clip, I can't remember what the context was, in this kind of flashback episode that was this past Friday's episode, of them all kind of sitting and standing and chatting in the living room. It had to have been very early on, days into the house, maybe even the first day. And you see Vince his little butt cheeks up on the couch back and he is just talking to Morgan standing in front of him. He's just tell me everything you have to say.
Day
and I'm
one.
oh my gosh, we did not see, it definitely heated up in the last several weeks. But it was always there. And those flashbacks kind of showed me that.
Well, and you're right. That's the beauty of production, is that now that this is officially a thing, they can go back through days and days of footage and find all these little moments that might or might not be directly tied to the two of them, the will they, won't they, the touchy-feely canoodling. I don't even fucking know anymore. But what's so beautiful about all of this is that Vince doesn't need anyone to ruin it for him besides himself.
He does it to himself.
It's
He's his own worst enemy.
And so we flash forward to shocker. Vince and Morgan are laying in bed together, but there's like a pillow in between them, so it's okay. And he says something along the lines of, he's complimenting Morgan's game. And he says something along the lines of, you're so good that I would be dominating the second half of this game if you weren't here.
And he made a comment about how you would have had a better chance with Lauren too.
Well, that's the thing, is she said, oh, that's why you wanted to keep Lauren over me. And he said, well, Lauren would be just as good. Dude, somehow she's not even, somehow this is the planet that Vince Cenzo, hi, I'm Vince Cenzo, lives on, is that he still thinks that he has a girlfriend after he's had his hand in Morgan's shirt for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Allegedly.
And B, he somehow manages to fuck up his like fake girlfriend thing with Morgan by talking about his, I guess, third fake girlfriend with Lauren. Like, this dude cannot figure out navigating his relationships with the opposite gender.
No.
It's crazy.
Do you think he got like bitches in high school? You think that's the problem?
I don't know. You should DM him.
Like, he didn't get enough bitches in like high school, college. Is she still running his
Instagram?
I don't think
you should message that right now. Be like, hi, Kelsey. Backdoors and Blindsides here. We were just wondering, did Vince get bitches in high school? It's bizarre to me that this guy is so out of whack that he can't see something that's so obvious. I mean, it's like, it's just faux pas after faux pas.
Yeah.
And what do you think that is? Is it just like he's just an anxious dude? You think that is he on the verge of like an actual breakdown?
I think it's paranoia.
Yeah.
I think it's anxiety. I think it's the pressure of being in there. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. He needs to execute. He needs to, tie up his game in a nice little bow here in a second, right? I am actually kind of concerned for him because, the past week we have just been seeing him being like, I don't want to leave this house. I don't want to leave this house. And Morgan's like, you're acting like your life started when you walked in this house and it's ending when you walk out. That's what Morgan has said on the live feed.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she's like, Vince, I need you to get out of your head and not think like that, because what's really happening is your life's starting right now. Your life starts once you exit this house, because you will have been on America's TV screens for months at this point. You are now a, public reality TV celebrity figure, like she's trying to coach him up. Morgan has been coaching Vince for the last 2 weeks to keep his head in this game.
Yeah.
She started coaching it when his last HOH, when he was going to blow up the judges, and Morgan's like, no, you're going to keep the judges together. We're keeping the judges together. Because in that moment, if Morgan showed any weakness of let's blow up this alliance, Vince would have done it because he wanted to do it. The only reason he didn't was because Morgan said not to do it. In this entire last couple weeks, she has basically been trying to get Vince off this ledge of no, your life's going to be fine.
Yeah. And it's definitely not, by the way. She's lying through her fucking teeth. But she's got to say what she's got to say to keep him on the level, to keep him going till the end so that she can get that $750K, because she still has a better chance with him over Ashley. But he's constantly now asking Morgan, hey, you're still going to take me, right? You're still going to take me to the final two?
Not only
he's
that,
doubting her. He's telling Morgan that he's doubting her loyalty. Not only that, by asking her that.
He's also asking her on lives, hey, so we're going to be friends after this, right? We both live in LA, so we're going to see each other, right? You're gonna come hang out with me. We're gonna be friends, right? Please, don't leave me. And I'm like, oh my, the insecurity that he has. I think that's what it is. Probably because he didn't get bitches in high school.
The guy has just somehow managed to make me cringe harder and harder every week until I just feel tense when he comes on my screen.
And listen, are we part of the problem, you and I, with this? A little bit. He's probably getting this from all these different outlets of people criticizing his game, criticizing who he is as a person.
We're covering that for the show. It's not like we're trying to ruin the guy's life.
No, but that's why I bring it up. That's why I want to be clear. He's a person. People need to treat him with a certain amount of compassion when he exits the game, at least online, and people running into him on the street and stuff like that. Like, this is a huge, you know, psychological fuck up that he's gonna be walking into, right?
No, look, and I'm glad you said that, because like I want to make it very clear. Like, if you are out and about on the town and you do like run into Vince in person on the sidewalk,
or you are messaging him or posting
just,
about
like,
him,
whatever
like,
you do, just to be sure, ask if he got bitches in high school or not. Because that's what we're really trying to figure out here. And then
or college,
continue
you know?
to be respectful afterwards.
Right.
But this guy, I just think, has zero chance now, which is unfortunate. I mean, I really liked watching him for a long time. It's just,
did you?
I for the first like half of the show,
Okay.
I was pulling for Vince. I thought he was just like a likable dude,
Like gamer guy. Like,
and then he started to really crumble. And yeah, you're right. It is like the paranoia. It is the anxiety. I think that if he had a really solid number one from the beginning, maybe that would have helped. But he didn't. He had 6 number ones and he couldn't figure it out with any of them. If he had actually stuck to, like, he had talked to Riley, he had talked to Zach, if he had really doubled down with 1 or 2 of them instead of, as we've criticized, having his hand in every pot in the house, that probably would have saved his well-being and maybe kept him from trying to kiss Morgan all the time. That doesn't actually happen. But.
Right. But I think if he had multiple final twos with people in a bigger alliance, then that maybe would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But he's really getting them all over. He's having them with Riley that he can't remember, with Kelly that he can't remember, with Keanu that he can't remember, which are like kind of public enemies at this point, right? Like, he has one with Lauren, who's also on that other side of the house. He has all these final twos with all these other people on the other side of the house that's not the Judge's alliance. So have one with Lauren, have one with Will and Ashley and Rachel. Sure, fine. Because they can't really say anything at that, right? Like, you know, we were in this alliance together and, I didn't realize he had final twos with all of us in here. But you were just like sprinkling, and everyone's stories are starting to add up, especially in jury. And people are comparing notes and like, wait, I had a final two with Vince. No, I did. No, I did. No, I did.
Last thing about Vince and Morgan before we move on. I just want to come back to this man telling America that he can't understand why maybe his girlfriend wouldn't want to speak to him from the outside of the house when, and this is in the broadcast, so this could have happened before or after in real life, we see, again, the two of them sharing a bed, lights are off, and they start talking percentages and equations.
So I watched this on lives, and I watched like people posting videos about it online before they aired it.
Yeah, it made the Wednesday episode.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, they have animation on top of it. Not only are they talking, but they have like equals heart emoji.
Divided by
yeah. And I was like,
square root of zing.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're giving them like an edit on this. Like some production values happening here. And I'm like, guys, come on. So, you know, again, I say this all the time about any player. If you are going in the Big Brother house and you're crying and you're doing this or whatever, but if you get in that diary room, DR, for the people that are listening that don't know what the DR means, it's diary room, which is the place that they go and are interviewed by production by themselves, and it's, you know, cut and aired, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're going in there being like, yeah, I'm crying because like I'm emotionally manipulating these people, like this is all game move. He doesn't do that. Rarely ever.
Yeah.
So I just lose respect.
Because he's never explaining his choices. He's always telling us how much he's doubting his own choices. And that goes back to like the 4th or 5th episode of this show, maybe even further back in Backdoors and Blindsides recap of Big Brother 27, is you have to have certainty in the choices that you're making. You can't doubt yourself, because as soon as you start doubting yourself, everything else around you is going to crumble, because you're always going to have to doubt the other people around you. You've got to stay certain about yourself, though. And clearly, like, that's been his downfall, I think, from the very start.
Yeah, and you're definitely seeing it in the past like week or two of Morgan having to like, no. Morgan is basically holding Vince together at this point with like glue and tape and some staples.
Yeah,
that's the man that we have competing for $750,000 at this point, is emotionally held up by he kind of like melts a little bit. It's like the episode of SpongeBob where they think they kill Squidward and they have to like reassemble him in like clay or whatever. Yeah, and then it gets hot, so he starts like melting, and they're like, no, and they're like trying to like build him back up. That's what Morgan's doing. Like we're just seeing like this like shell of a man based on Morgan like trying to prop him up and get him through the finish line.
She's just trying to keep him out of the sun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Godspeed, Vince. I don't know what these next 24, 48 hours are going to look like for you, but I don't envy where you're at.
Nope. Anyways, moving on. Our second HOH this week was the cube rolling competition. Another kind of classic one here where they basically have different symbols on the different side of this cube that they're in, and all three of them at the same time are trying to find the symbol that they need to be on the top of their cube and to kind of tumble it back into the starting position and lock in with that answer. And of course, again, Morgan wins. Vince can't play. It's Morgan, Ashley, and Ava. And I don't know what Ava's doing. She's like sitting crisscross applesauce in the cube, just like knitting a sweater.
She's really struggling.
Yeah. And Ashley's just, maybe trying to untie the cube to get out of it. I'm not really sure what's happening here.
She was figuring it out, but Morgan just absolutely
with Matt Hartman
dominated. Yes, yeah. Oh, that's right. Speaking of our favorite podcast, Figuring It Out with Matt Hartman. Haven't seen a new episode in a while, by the way.
Maybe he's figured everything out then.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh, we did it. We figured it all out.
Figured it all out.
Let's take the feed down. No, I just saw the three of them go out there, right? We see that they're in like athletic wear, so it's a physical comp. You just already know, okay, well, Morgan's got this in the bag.
Right.
And she, I think, gets 3 in a row, right?
Yeah. It's like a video game still, that
right.
competition.
Well, that's another example. If she says this is like a video game, down, up, left, right, like it's like a combo in Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a puzzle in Silent Hill. And so here she comes with her HOH. So we have essentially just patty caked HOH back and forth between Vince and Morgan, right? I think she says later on the last 4 HOHs were them.
Yeah. It's hard to get footing in a game.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's impressive.
If you're not Morgan or Vince, it's hard to get footing in a situation like that. So I don't envy the rest of the players that had to live through that, and the writing was on the walls for them.
Matt and Jag were kind of playing that way. I feel like towards the end of their season, it was just back and forth between the two of them, which is how they decimated Cormerica. But Morgan comes out with her HOH, and she nominates, sensibly, Ava and Ashley. Ashley being told she's not the target. The goal is for the judges to get Ava out, become the final 3. And that's what they managed to do, but not without Ava putting up a fight.
Well, not before Vince considers potentially voting Ashley out. For a second there, I think, Ava was trying to work Vince and be like, keep me. This is why you need to keep me. And Vince even said that he needed to differentiate his game from Morgan. So he thought that voting out Ashley and keeping Ava would be a good way to do that. And I'm just over here like, Vinny the Lip, that's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough, buddy, to differentiate your game from Morgan. Voting out someone that you're now going to burn other people in the jury for.
Yeah.
Like Vince, if Vince did that, I think it would differentiate his game from Morgan's, but in a bad way, because now you have 3 judges that would be in the final. You would have to hope and pray that Morgan gets out and she's sitting on jury to then have 4 judge votes for you.
That was the last big move by Ava, and it was a big swing, right? Because if that had successfully played out, Vince gets out Ashley, he burns Morgan, and then Ava could go to the finale and say, I broke up this alliance because I manipulated Vince, right? And that could have been a huge chance for her to come out as the winner. But it doesn't work because, at this point, she is kind of grasping, right? She's on the very bottom. She's just throwing out everything to see what sticks, to see how she can convince anyone. Because it seems like Ashley is playing Ava, but I think she really convinced Ava that they were working together. Because
I think they would have had, both of them would have the best shot of winning next to each other.
Yeah.
Truly, 100%.
And we also see, this was like mentioned on feeds, right? that Ava was calling this big secret meeting, or not a secret meeting, but this big official meeting before eviction a couple nights ago.
Yeah, they cut the feeds.
And they cut the feeds, and she sits everyone down at the table in the kitchen and says, "Oh, well, I know I'm going home tonight, so I'm just going to put everything out there," and tries to tell Morgan, "Hey, Vince actually isn't going to take you. Like, he's gonna take me.
He's been lying to you. He's been saying all this stuff to me behind your back." And Vince is just over there like, "I don't understand. Why would she say that? I'm so confused." I'm like, Vince, you're finally, for maybe the first time in this entire game, getting called out by your actions.
And was it ever like a lock that was the case? Did they have like that? Was it an embellished conversation? Of course, like Ava's exaggerating to try and get some pull in the house, but like Vince doesn't even really defend himself. He just kind of gives like a Jim at the office look and puts his hands up. And like if Ava had a little more behind what she was saying, I think she actually could have made waves. I think that she needed to drum up a little bit more of like a scenario.
So something that we don't get a lot this season is people lying about other people. You get a lot of people telling the truth when they should not be.
Yes.
And they should just be shutting their fucking mouth.
A ton of people showing their entire ass, showing all of their cards.
Yeah. You get a lot of people doing that. You get people saying that they will use vetoes on people when they won't, Vince. Throwing competition so they don't have to like use power, Vince. Things like that. You get people lying about how they're going to move in the game. But what we are not getting a lot of this season, maybe this is new era Big Brother, is people lying about other people and like how they move. If I was Ava, I would have fucking concocted something up. Vince and I have had a final two since day one. We've been working this out. Like, lie. Anything. Try to get it out there.
It really was too little too late.
Yes.
And I want to emphasize too little.
Yeah.
In her work. It kind of reminded me of when she tried to have her TV moment where she stood up in defiance of Vince putting her up and had the speech and pulled the chess piece out of her sleeve, where we were like, well, where was this a couple weeks ago? Like, again, it just felt,
and it also wasn't her moment in that time. It was Keanu's moment to get roasted by Vince.
It feels like half-assed almost.
Yeah.
Like the idea is there, but there's no substance behind it. And I do think that's where like Ava really fell short as like a player.
Yeah.
Right. Cause like we talk about how she kind of lost the persona to win America's Favorite. But I think her gameplay really fell apart when she had these chances to really try and spin something in a certain way. She doesn't really have the energy behind it, or she doesn't have the substance behind it. So,
well, I mean, it was really interesting too, because this HOH, Morgan's HOH with Ava and Ashley on the block, I guess part of like the masterminds week or month of chaos, whatever, is that the veto was going to be used and the eviction was going to happen right after that.
Yeah.
So in that moment, Ava is trying to get Morgan to use the veto on her. Take her down, put Vince up. Ava will then vote out Vince. That's what Ava was trying to concoct to manipulate there. But instead, Morgan gets up there and is like, I'm not using this veto. And then Vince immediately stands up and is like, bye, Ava.
Yeah. And we had a pretty good idea that was going to happen once Morgan won the veto. I don't think there was really ever a possibility that she was going to change their plan, because it just comes down to like, we're staying true to the judges here. Like, this is the only thing that has worked all season, so I'll be damned if I let it go. I mean, that's been Morgan's attitude the whole time. Again,
Morgan got what Morgan wanted, as Kelly would say. So Morgan, was manipulating Vince to whatever degree and made sure that the judges again stayed intact. That's why Ashley is there. Well, Ashley has been running a good underground social game, but you also have Morgan begging Vince to keep the judges intact, which is a necessary thing to do because of the amount of HOHs that he's been winning in the back half of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Morgan has a ton of pull there. And I don't think Vince has really made a ton of moves outside of Morgan. Like, Morgan can kind of claim all of Vince's moves. Morgan has won as many comps. Morgan was the only player this season, fun fact, by the way, to win both HOH and veto and control the whole week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's an absolute comp.
She's going to pull that out in her speech, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we had everyone saying, oh, Keanu compies, Keanu comp. No. You also had Vince, as much as, you want to say about him. You also have Kelly, as much as you want to say, but you have Morgan too. You really have 4 giant comp beasts this season. And it was Keanu, Kelly, Morgan, and Vince. And really outside of that, you had some outlying veto wins from a few other players, some outlying HOH wins, but they really dominated the entire game with comp wins, which comp wins aren't everything, but they are something when you need to ensure your safety, to show your alliance or the people you're working with where you lie and that you're trustworthy and that, you have the ability to have influence in the game. That's what the comps are for, to show that you have influence in the game. And if you can't pull out a win here and there, then like that is going to impact your perception within the game of you can't be trustworthy 100% because you haven't had a chance to prove that you're trustworthy.
Yeah, I guess that's the pain of being in the Big Brother house, right? I have been impressed with, all 4 of them were impressive in their own way to get to where we are now. I think Ava doing all of this in the public eye was a problem as well. If she had taken Morgan aside, maybe one-on-one, and tried to manipulate her, or even get in Ashley's ear and have Ashley speak on behalf of Ava, like, hey, we're cooking this thing up together.
I think she should have been planting maybe more seeds, and maybe she did, and we just didn't see it. But I do see the benefit of doing something public like that, because then nothing can be misconstrued. Morgan can't go back. You don't have this game of telephone. And I think that's what she was trying to avoid. And she's kind of this no nonsense player, right? Mm-hmm. We saw it in her HOH when she's like, I don't want any one-on-ones. No one talk to me. I'm over that shit. So if she's able to like cut the bullshit and cut the back and forth and all this, because what would have happened is Ava would have went to Morgan and been like, oh, Vince is going to take you. He's told me this, this, and this. And Morgan's saying, they're like, I don't know if that's true. And then Morgan's going back to Vince saying, hey, Ava's saying this. And then Vince is going to Ava being like, Ava, why are you doing this? I don't understand. And then you have all this game of telephone. She's like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to sit down and everyone's going to hear it from my mouth so nothing can get misconstrued. I took points away, though, for her being like, all right, I'm done. And just like getting up and walking back to the room. Yeah. Morgan following her being like, can we talk about this? And then Vince and Ashley coming in being like, yo, what the fuck? And Ashley's like, Ava, you're trying to blow up my game here. I'm like, yeah, Ashley, that is what Ava's trying to do, because it's you or her right now. And like, she needs to get some traction. Right. And like, that's just part of the game, Ashley. Sorry.
At the end of the day, she was never going to get past the judges because they felt so good about that, or at least Vince was aligned with. Vince will do whatever Morgan tells him, right? And that's what we've been saying. I think Ava might be one of the most burned people to be evicted this season, because when she comes out and she gets her goodbye messages, she is informed of the judges' alliance. Mm-hmm. Now, she said doesn't take rocket science to figure out that Ashley, Vince, and Morgan were all working together. What she was taken aback by, and I wish that Julie had asked her more about this, was that Will was a part of the judges. She had a final 2 with Will, or they were working very closely together, and she didn't know about that. Now, obviously, she's going to go to the jury house, most likely, catch up with Will, and they'll be able to discuss together whatever their intentions were. But I have to imagine that she walked out of that exit interview thinking, oh, I actually had no one this entire game, because even my number 1 was a part of an alliance that ultimately got me evicted too. She's got to be burned. I mean, and anyone who gets evicted this close to the end is going to feel raw about it. Yeah. But I felt for her in that moment when I watched her realize, oh, I was never on top. I was never on the inside of like the biggest thing at play here. Because I really think that she thought her and Will were going to make it to the end together with the, and I thought they had a really good shot at it too until Will went home.
Yeah. And I will say one of my quotes of the week, I think you have a couple over there too. One of them is when Ava is, standing up on eviction night, kind of has her opportunity to plead for her life speech. She is addressing Vince only because he's the sole person to vote to evict that week. She says to Vince, don't contact me after this.
Right.
And Vince is like, what the fuck?
I mean,
I thought that was great.
yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Again, that's her looking for like a TV moment, right? Because like at this point, first of all, I don't think that any of these people are going to be friends anymore. This might be the cast that like everyone
pre-jury people look like they're kind of having a good time, but they're, you know, mutually benefiting, hanging out with each other and going to these parties which, by the way, right now, it's Saturday. Of, you know, right. the night before the finale.
Recording this the night before finale night.
Yeah. And you have all of these people flocking to LA right now. You have former Big Brother players flocking to LA for the finale. You have the pre-jury of this season flocking. And because The Amazing Race just premiered this week, they had a premiere party for it. And it's all Big Brother players in this season of Amazing Race. So you have this whole group of Big Brother. It's like, you know when at the Olympics, like Olympic Village, they like
what
they like
what do they do in Olympic Village?
It's a lot of like really athletic, good looking people in Olympic Village. So the joke is that they all bang each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm just imagining something similar happening in LA right now.
You're just sitting around thinking about a Big Brother orgy, is what you're saying?
I mean,
that's what's occupying your brain?
I guess, like all these people out in LA right now, Big Brother universe, all colliding with former seasons, and you know, they're all just having a good time.
Well, they say that about wrestling too, right? Like that's why everyone in wrestling gets married. They marry each other, or they end up together, is because like everyone's in shape, everyone's good looking. So of course we've got all this.
They're all in the universe. They understand
we're like we have the same job, we have the same commitments, same schedule. We're on the road together, so of course it's going to end up this way, right?
Which I'm seeing all these stories from all these, you know, former players, and it's like, oh, in this house with these, you know, 12 other people that you know and recognize and love. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh God, I would hate to be in that house. Like if I was a former player and all these other former players are just like making their content constantly, and I'm just in the background of everything, like sneezing, and God forbid my nose itches for a second.
Just a ton of influencer type stuff.
Yeah. I'd just be like so self-conscious. But I guess all these people, all the former Big Brother players, they have had their literally 3 months of their lives, if you made it that far, documented 24/7. So they probably maybe don't care, but that would give me anxiety.
Once we say goodbye to Ava, we get our final three, the judges, Ashley, Vince, and Morgan. We get the victory lap episode where they're seated at the dining table with a steak dinner and champagne, and they're, you know, given prompts by production. Oh, remember this?
Production's like, hey,
let's go to the tape.
Don't talk about Riley.
Yeah, no
talking
Riley.
About Riley.
But one gem that we get from this clip show, and I think it's fitting to see her out on this one, is Ava. They're talking about celebrity crushes.
Oh my God, this one's so good.
And I want to go back to weeks and weeks ago where they were talking about attractive people in the house, and Ava saying that the only person in the house that she's attracted to is Rachel Riley.
Right. She was like, Rachel Riley could get it.
Which Rachel Riley, beautiful woman. That's not. I'm not shaming Ava for that take.
Yeah.
What she says, she like practically stands up in the middle of the room and says, "You know who could get it? That guy who played Teddy Roosevelt in Night at the Museum." And I, for a split second, had to think about who the fuck is she talking? Robin Williams? And then they all go, "You mean like Mrs. Doubtfire, the genie from Aladdin?" It's the funniest thing that she said all season.
I think Mickey was there, and she's like, "Absolutely not." Like, what the fuck?
I mean, look, Robin Williams, very successful man, beloved in all circles. All
she also cites Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's so funny.
she said, what did she say? She was like, "Hello," and also "hello" can also get it. Yeah.
It's so funny, dude. Yeah, Ava being a Night at the Museum head, I guess not the biggest surprise, but of all the cast members in that movie, I think Owen Wilson's a cowboy in that, but no, it's Teddy Roosevelt.
Does it for her.
Get ginned up for Teddy.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to point out in this final three that we have is we've been checking out the live feeds.
Yeah.
Very quiet, obviously. There's only 3 people in the house. There's a lot of house. We're seeing a lot of Ashley and Morgan. I haven't seen Vince in like a day when I'm checking in. That's not saying that he's not around, but
So we tuned in late
It's a bad look.
We tuned in late last night before we went to bed. It must have been, I don't know, what, 1:30, 2 a.m.? We stay up late.
It would have been like 11, 12 o'clock in the morning
at their time.
in California.
And we see Ashley and Morgan in the hot tub together, just talking about whatever. Morgan's snacking on some goldfish. Matt and I are just like, over it.
Ashley was working on her speech prior, though.
Yeah, alone in the hot tub.
She was like reciting her speech to herself.
But you know what I've seen today, seeing videos from live last night.
This is today being the day before live eviction,
right,
the finale.
Talking about Friday night into Saturday morning. Vince enters the hot tub. Ashley was gone, and the two of them are sitting in the hot tub, and they're gossiping till like
Christ.
6 a.m.
Oh, they watched the sunrise together?
Maybe. I don't know.
Isn't that sweet?
But apparently they were like chatting it up and Vince makes his appearance, and pretty much everything that was happening was Vince being like, I played a shitty game. I did terrible jury management. I can't manage a jury. And you have Morgan over there, like I mentioned before, putting him back together with tape and glue and staples and, maybe some spit if he's lucky. And, and she's like, no, Vince, no, it's not. No, you had a great... Yeah, you had a great game, sweetie. Oh, let me rub your arm. You had such a good game. You manipulated. You did this. Your social game, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
if
exhausting.
Morgan gets up from the couch on finale night and actually pulls out
Watch your foot.
something like, oh, am I kicking the camera?
Yes.
Morgan actually pulls out something along the lines of, I've been manipulating Vince this entire time. It'll be the biggest moment in the show this season.
I don't think she will.
I know. I think she does care about him.
I think she's like, he's my duo. We were a duo that ran the game, but then here are like the comp wins that I got and like these things that I did. I don't think she tears down Vince.
No, I don't think so either. That's not what she hasn't said it to the DR, so I don't know why she would say it to the jury.
Exactly.
But can you imagine? That would kill him.
That's what I would be here for. I want people to go in the house and act a certain way and, behind the scenes just be like, yeah, I'm doing this all for game. I'm like, this is game, that's game, this game. Everything that you do has to be for the game.
Yeah. That's the thing. And you have to be certain in the decision that you're making for the game. Vince has not been making decisions for the game. Vince has been making decisions to try and keep people from being mad at him.
Which that's worked out real well for you,
hilarious, buddy. Right? Have the scenarios changed? So we have a reel on Instagram right now that's doing exceptionally well.
And we did it at Final Five, mind you. So some of the stuff may be a little outdated, or our perceptions have, changed or updated.
Yeah. Last episode we pitched scenarios for who sits next to who and who wins. I don't think that's changed this week. And what we said was Vince loses either way.
Yeah, I still think Vince loses to Ashley and to Morgan. I think Morgan has played a better game than Vince, and I think Vince in the Ashley scenario, I think Ashley's beloved on the jury. She has her previous judges up there that she would get the votes for. I think Vince has hurt a lot of people. Not saying that I think the jury's bitter, but I think he just moved terribly with everybody. So yeah, I think he loses to both Morgan and Ashley. I think Ashley...
That's the thing. What's changed between Ashley and Morgan? Because we said it could go either way last time.
Again, I think Ashley gets a few votes against Morgan. I think what is really... everything's being hinged on, and it's a lot to hinge on, right? Like if you're playing this under the radar game, this socially smart game that no one knows about, well, guess what? No one knows about it. And you have one speech to absolutely nail it, to give the speech of your life. You didn't know I was doing this. You didn't know I was doing that. Here it is. I did this. This is what I moved. This is how I did it. This is how I got it. This is why this happened. This is why this person said this to that person. If she's able to truly define what she has done and really set that in cement, in concrete, when she's answering questions from the jury, when she's giving her final speech, she has a good shot of winning. But that's a lot of eggs in that basket. So that's why I'm unsure of her. I think she right now against Morgan has a maybe like 33% chance of winning. I think Morgan has the majority win.
Okay.
I think Morgan against Vince loses.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like Morgan is still the favorite here.
Unless Ashley wins
The HOH.
the final HOH, and Ashley is able to choose who sits next to her and who leaves at third. If Ashley wins and she takes Vince,
That's the move.
that's the move. That's how Ashley wins.
You have to. And
And Morgan gets robbed. That's the only scenario that Morgan does not win. If Ashley wins this final HOH and she does not choose her, she chooses Vince, and Morgan is now scrambling for a question to ask the jury because she was just, bamboozled out of $750,000 basically.
And the last point I have about Ashley is this. You mentioned to me, I think we were off air, but you said Vince is playing for second place right now, or he better be if he knows what's good for him. Ashley told us, the audience, that she's making sure that Vince and Morgan both think that she's playing for second place.
Right.
When she's not at all.
Right.
And,
She's like, she on the outside, she's telling them she's playing for second place. Yeah. You'll get a landslide win with me. No, she does not think that she's actually playing for first. And that's why I say that depending on how these next 24 hours go for her is what's going to determine if she wins or not.
She has to win. If she doesn't win, she's out.
It will be a clutch win for her if she comes out and wins the entire season.
crazy...
Morgan's the most deserving. I don't like that she's all caught up in the Vorgan thing. I think she's moved a little sloppily with that. Vince has just kind of fucked his game week after week after week, decision after decision after decision, kind of making his life in and outside of the Big Brother house harder. So I don't think he's going to get it. I think worst case scenario, he goes at 3. Oh no. His best case scenario right now, he walks out of here with the $75,000 from second place.
Yeah.
And now the question is, if Morgan wins this last HOH, does she take that money from Vince? Because that's what would happen, right? That I want to articulate that correctly. So Morgan, if she chooses Ashley over Vince, she is taking away that money from Vince and giving it to Ashley, not the other way around. She is not. If she takes Vince, she is not taking money from Ashley and giving it to Vince because Vince is her number one, right? So if she truly pulls the rug out from underneath of him at this stage in the game, blindsides him, does not take him, I think she gets major credit, and I think that solidifies her win. I don't think Ashley has a chance at that point. So I think there are a few different last-minute scenarios that could bubble up here.
I like it. I like that there are a couple different outcomes here. I mean, that really wasn't the case last season. I think it was pretty cut and dry that Mackenzie was just going to blindly follow Chelsea and lose the game because of it, or go into second place.
Yeah,
but I still can't believe she fumbled that.
But no, she doesn't feel bad about it.
Well, that's right. Well,
she said so many times that I wouldn't have changed anything, and I'm like, shut up.
If you tune into
what kind of take is that? You lost almost $1 million because you chose honor and loyalty.
It's because she's rich already.
That's true.
Instagram tells it all, man.
And she's in a power couple with Figuring It Out with Matt Hartman.
Well, that's right. Well, I want part 2 of her episode on Figuring It Out with Matt Hartman, where she can talk more about all of the same shit that she said for a year. I need them to find another guest on that show. Like we
Angela.
Can you imagine? I'd subscribe to the Patreon. I'd buy it. Premium episode. If we could get the two of them on.
They would never.
Just like podcast wars with the two of them. I think that's it for the actual show, right? I mean, that's everything out there. Big Brother ends tomorrow as of right now as we record this. We're going to do a recap of the finale, I think, the day after. So it'll probably
some
go
trailing
up.
content.
It'll go up either the Monday or the Tuesday after the finale. I'm not promising a hard date because fuck that. We've learned our lesson promising hard dates while we're trying to do this show. But
we don't have any advertisers that hold us accountable unless you want to hold us accountable. I love to be held accountable.
If we start making money, this show will go up at the same exact time every week. Until then, I
will be your podcast slave.
I just don't care enough. No, we're just fucking busy and life is terrible. Any one-liners of the week?
I mean, I think it was Ava telling Vince not to contact her. I think you had a couple, right?
I just loved that she's trying to blow up Vince's spot, right? She says something along the lines of like, "Don't do for a man what he wouldn't do for you." Like just like more of
Truth,
this like
girl.
spouting cliches or figures of not figures of speech. What is the fucking expressions? I guess citing expressions. That's kind of been her bit the whole season.
Yeah.
I feel like she's just been walking around with them in her pocket, waiting to strike. So we will miss Ava, but
this is the Big Brother house, not squatters' rights.
Yeah, she had a bunch throughout the season. So I think overall, she was my favorite for one-liners.
Over Jimmy,
in
over
Big Brother
Rachel.
27. I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
she
so.
got you. She brainwashed you.
She was kind of speaking like an old woman sometimes. And it wasn't the classic, I don't know, like Big Brother snark, right? A lot of these one-liners in the Big Brother house are very snarky, and that was never really the tone with the way that Ava delivered hers.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to give her credit. What I really want to get into, though, is Julie's fit this week.
Va voom, Julie.
Also, the best of the season. I mean, I can't wait for finale night. It's
the
always
blowout
stunning.
she had. Her hair was like nice. She had this like almost like snake, like all black kind of snake pattern textured dress on.
Like leathery, scaly. Like she looked like Trinity. She looked like she could have been in with Jimmy in their Matrix outfits together.
Ooh, Julie, let me grab my whips and chains.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was working for everyone in our house, and I mean, I think this is the best of the bunch. So obviously, it's fire. And we just want to thank people for tuning in for the entire season. Like I said, finale drops next week, but especially this past week, we've gotten a ton of feedback from people who have listened, some surprises to who is listening, and we're seeing some really good traction online. So if you haven't already, follow us at Backdoors and Blindsides on Instagram, at Backdoor Podcast on X. We will be live posting during the finale on X and Threads. Check out our reels, like, comment, share, tell us what you think. You can tell us that we're wrong. We don't care. Just give us some engagement.
I literally don't care. Fuck your opinion.
And be sure to check out our full-length video episodes on YouTube. Those are also seeing a lot of traction. Share the links with people. Send it around. We are going to start covering Survivor next week as well. And
we
Amazing
just
Race.
needed to get through Big Brother.
But holy shit.
We cannot do Big Brother, Survivor, and Amazing Race with our bandwidth right now.
We're moving from 6 hours a week to cover to like 2 hours a week to cover, which is
great.
just a blessing. But we will miss covering Big Brother. Any other closing thoughts?
That's it. Send us home, baby.
Then we'll see you all on finale night. But until then, coming to you live from inside our living room, I'm Matt.
And I'm Meg.
We're Backdoors and Blindsides. Glove one another.